Usyk, what do you think you can do that nobody else can do to beat him?
I can probably match him for movement, I do, and endurance.
Joseph Parker is suddenly calling out Oleksandr Usyk, but it reeks more of desperation than genuine confidence. After avoiding Usyk for so long, this outburst feels forced and calculated. He had his opportunity but chose to chase Tyson Fury instead. Now, scrambling to stay relevant, he's trying to stir the pot, but fans aren't buying it. Parker claims he wants Usyk next, yet he's now accusing Usyk of ducking him to pursue Fury. The irony is laughable. Parker had a chance when the timing was perfect and walked away. Now he's playing the victim card. The truth is, he's not being avoided. He's just not a priority.
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good chance, or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan. Probably different to everyone else's one.
On the other hand, Usyk's latest response to Fury shows who's really running the show. While Parker complains about being overlooked, Usyk has bigger fish to fry. He's calling out Tyson Fury for a trilogy, determined to settle the score. Once and for all, this isn't ducking, this is dominance. Usyk is chasing the toughest challenges, not begging for scraps. Parker can wait in line like everyone else. But here's where things get messy. Ivan legends are starting to weigh in on the chaos.
I want to fight Usyk into something beating. I'll reign all the belts I should never have lost. And then I'll fight the new bar.
Even Johnny Nelson seems baffled, caught in the whirlwind of confusion surrounding this whole mess. The constant uncertainty, the shifting headlines, it's turning into a full-blown circus. Parker's trying to capitalize on the chaos, inserting himself into a narrative he was never truly part of. But fans aren't fools, they see through it. They know exactly what's going on.
Okay. It doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger. It might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter. That's true.
Duke McKenzie doesn't hold back, and rightfully so. Joseph Parker's recent actions aren't just professionally questionable. They feel like a betrayal to those who believed in him from the beginning. It's one thing to switch lanes in pursuit of greatness, but Parker sidestepped Usyk when it truly counted. And now he's trying to wear the mask of a loyal warrior. McKenzie sees through the act, calling it a slap in the face, not just to Parker's legacy, but even to those closest to him, like his father. Parker's latest antics don't project confidence. They reek of desperation. He's lost his grip on respect and is now grasping for relevance in a heavyweight division that's already moved on. Meanwhile, Usyk remains locked in on greatness, and even longtime critics like McKenzie are starting to acknowledge the stark contrast in mentality between the two fighters.
It's just wrong in my book. You know what? I also think that what he's done is it's like a slap in the face.
And then Tyson Fury enters the scene, sending shockwaves with another raw, unfiltered message. He goes nuclear once again, claiming he's the only man to have ever truly beaten Usyk. Believe it or not, one thing is certain: Fury remains at the center of the storm, while Parker clings to the outskirts. Hoping for scraps, Fury's message is loud, proud, and unapologetically brutal. He positions himself as the ultimate benchmark, the king Usyk has yet to properly dethrone. And Parker, he's nowhere in that conversation. While Fury and Usyk flirt with legacies and trilogies, Parker's shouting from the sidelines, desperate for relevance. Meanwhile, Fury's raw emotion reveals what it really means to carry both pressure and pride under the unforgiving spotlight of the heavyweight division. Parker might talk a big game, but he hasn't walked into this level of fire. Not yet. Maybe not ever.
Knows. There's only one man who can beat him. I've done it twice before, and the world knows it. I've been fucked good and proper without the Vaseline on, and took it like a man. And here's me, not fucking around at some boxing match. I'm out on the fucking road running.
What's more, Andy Lee offers a revealing glimpse into why Parker suddenly believes he's ready for Usyk. Lee tries to sell a narrative claiming Parker has evolved, ironing out key flaws, particularly the pauses in his rhythm that Usyk would be quick to exploit. But here's the catch: a few training tweaks don't bridge the gulf in class. Usyk operates on an entirely different level. He's not just exploiting pauses. He's a master technician, a cerebral predator who dissects opponents with precision. While Parker's team hypes up marginal improvements, Usyk has been consistently dismantling world-class opposition with surgical dominance. And Lee's optimism, it feels more like hopeful salesmanship than grounded analysis, a coach backing his fighter rather than facing the reality of the gap. On Parker's side, the self-belief appears built more on manufactured hype than proven results. He's shown decent form, sure, but he's nowhere near the level of dominance Usyk has maintained.
And are you going to be calling for this fight next once Usyk has been given his flowers?
I want it next. You can enjoy this time, and I hope you can give me the opportunity to.
Just as Parker's confidence reaches its peak, he doubles down with a bold declaration. He's talking big now, claiming he has the belief, the game plan, and the right team to take down Usyk. But belief alone doesn't win fights, especially not against someone like Usyk, who dismantles opponents both physically and mentally. Parker insists his strategy will be different, but that's what they all say right before stepping into Usyk's matrix and getting systematically picked apart. The irony, Parker had momentum after beating Zhang. That was his moment to call out Usyk decisively. Instead, he stayed quiet. Now, he's acting as if the world owes him a shot. Meanwhile, Usyk remains laser-focused on unifying history, not chasing side quests. Parker's confidence feels less like conviction and more like a last-ditch sales pitch. He wants fans to believe he's next in line. But the reality is clear: he's still 3 levels behind, both in legacy and mindset.
I believe wholeheartedly in my ability and what I can do in the ring. I have full confidence that give me a good camp, or give me some time to put in the work with Andy Lee and George Lockhart. Want to come up with a good game plan, probably different to everyone else's one, and just work.
Frank Warren spells it out. Joseph Parker isn't just knocking on the door, he's already at the front of the line. But here's the twist: this isn't about earning a shot through sheer dominance. It's about rankings, politics, and timing. Yes, Parker is the mandatory challenger, but that title carries little weight when fans and pundits still question whether he's truly ready for us. Warren tries to justify Parker's position as deserved, but the public isn't blind. Parker's rise has been more about strategic matchmaking than all-out mayhem. In contrast, Usyk has taken and beaten the best, cleanly and convincingly. So if this fight does happen, it won't be because Parker demanded it. It'll be because the system allowed it. And that's exactly why it feels lopsided from the start. The pressure isn't just on Parker to show up, it's on him to prove he belongs in the same ring as a generational talent like Usyk, who dismantles opponents both physically and mentally. Parker insists his strategy will be different, but that's what they all say right before stepping into Usyk's matrix and getting systematically picked apart. The irony: Parker had momentum after beating Zhang. That was his moment to call out Usyk decisively. Instead, he stayed quiet. Now, he's acting as if the world owes him a shot. Meanwhile, Usyk remains laser-focused on unifying history, not chasing side quests. Parker's confidence feels less like conviction and more like a last-ditch sales pitch. He wants fans to believe he's next in line. But the reality is clear: he's still 3 levels behind, both in legacy and mindset.
Dubois or Usyk win, Parker's getting his shot. He is mandatory. And we'll see what happens there. Let's just get it all out of the way. But they're all in good positions. All that guys, we work very hard, and they're all of them they're either mandatories or interim champions all ready to go to fight.
Roy Jones Jr. backing Joseph Parker. That's the biggest curveball in this entire saga. According to Roy, Parker's got the speed, the combinations, and the chemistry with Andy Lee that could make it a genuinely competitive fight against Usyk. But here's the twist: being good isn't the same as being great. And when you're stepping in with someone like Usyk, there's no room for good enough. Roy praises Parker's renewed sharpness and comfort in the ring. And sure, we've seen noticeable improvements since the loss to Joe Joyce. But does that really make Parker the top candidate to dethrone a unified, undefeated mastermind like Usyk? That's where the fantasy starts to crumble. That said, Roy's not entirely wrong. The matchup is stylistically intriguing. Parker's speed versus Usyk's movement could create a cerebral, chess-like dynamic. But the real issue isn't pedigree. Usyk has faced killers, toppled undefeated champions, and delivered under the brightest lights on the biggest stages. Parker has only just clawed his way back into the conversation. On paper, it might shape up as an interesting fight, but let's be clear: Usyk would walk in as the overwhelming favorite for good reason.